It's early December, and we're near Keysville at the deserted Port Douglas boat launch. Our captain this morning is Mickey Maynard, a devoted conservationist and longtime angler. Mickey maintains a website devoted to fishing on Lake Champlain. Today's fish catcher and first mate is his son, Marshall.
We're headed out that way toward the point, and we're going to be fishing, trolling in the bay.
Atlantic salmon is what they're after. Some of the best salmon fishing on Lake Champlain occurs from late October until the midwinter ice forms. We'll be fishing the west shoreline, almost directly across the lake from Burlington, Vermont.
It's at the mouth of Willsboro Bay, and it's adjacent to some of the deepest water in the lake. The bait seems to group up in that area, so there's a lot of activity. And this area, with its deep water, seems to draw the bait fish, smelt, lake herring, and then eventually the salmon come in to feed on them, and that's what we're hoping to get today, salmon on the surface. Now, what we do is we fish with downriggers, and we try to get down about 15 to 18 feet with our first lure, just a few feet off the back of the boat. And it's sometimes a little tricky maneuvering the boat and setting up the downriggers at the same time. That's why I have my first mate Marshall here all the time. So we drop that one down a little way. Now we're going to hook up what we call a slider. It allows you a second lure on the original pole. The slider goes halfway from the surface to the downrigger ball, kind of suspends there, and it gets in the vicinity of the prop wash of the motor, and that prop wash tends to draw salmon. So oftentimes we'll get strikes on the slider rigs, and that's basically about a yard of line, swivel on either end, and a lure. Then we'll clip the second swivel to the line, send it down, we've effectively got two lures on one pole as part of our spread. Today our spread will just include 4 lures on 2 poles. All set? These are stinger spoons and needlefish. Another good one is a moose look spoon. They're kind of small, a lot of erratic action on a fast troll, and that's what we're looking for. That's our slider, and we'll put the moose look on this. Here's a moose look. We're going to put that out on our port side.
Did you attach that to the down?
Yeah. I think we had a release already. So that's a good sign. Can't even get the second pole set up before we have a release on the first one. So pull that one in.
Mickey recommends using 6-pound test and trolling at a relatively brisk speed of 3 to 3.5 miles per hour.
There's a fish. There's a fish. Fish on. Still on there, Marsh? Take your time. It may be a a lake herring, we will see.
No, that's not a lake herring.
It's a salmon.
Yep. I can get it, Dad.
Yep. Get him up to the side of the boat and we'll try to release him without.
I can do it.
Okay.
Do it if I
Let me help.
just grab my glove.
Let me help you, okay?
I got it, Daddy.
I'll do the releasing. It's a small salmon. Yeah, let's get it. You okay? And away he goes. Okay?
Yeah, cold. That's all.
Well, it's only about 35 degrees out, with a chilly north wind. The surface temperature of the water, however, is closer to 45. Now, Mickey's running the lures down around 15 to 18 feet, but we're fishing over a much deeper and colder 140 feet of water.
And there we go, fish on.
Take my glove off. There he goes.
Away. Nice job.
With two in the boat, we continued trolling around the hot spot. Marshall managed to warm up a bit while pulling in two more nice ones. Somehow it's just not as cold when you're catching fish.
Back you go.
Well, what do you think, Marshall? You want to wrap it up? Pull that last downrigger in. 5 fish on, 4 in the boat for 2 hours of fishing. Not a bad day.
It's been a nice winter morning out on Lake Champlain, but it's time for the first mate to get back to civilization, or school, for an afternoon test.
Nice out here, huh?